Most people don't drink because they love alcohol. They drink because they need silence inside their mind. After a long, brutal day, when the pressure won't stop, when the noise inside your head refuses to quiet down, millions of people reach for a glass. Not because they're weak, not because they lack discipline, but because somewhere deep in their psychology, they learned one thing. Alcohol works, at least for a while. Tonight, we're going inside the mind of those people. Because the truth behind stress drinking is far more complex and far more human than most of us want to admit. Picture this. He comes home exhausted every night. The same kind of exhaustion that isn't just physical, it lives somewhere behind the eyes. He loosens his tie, drops his bag, and before he even sits down, he opens the refrigerator. And not because he's hungry, because his body already knows what comes next. One drink, just one, to take the edge off. Maybe you've done this too. Maybe not with alcohol, maybe it's something else. But you know that feeling, that desperate need to decompress, to stop the mental noise, to feel like yourself again after a day that tried to destroy you. We live in a world that never stops demanding. Work deadlines, financial pressure, social expectations, relationship stress, the constant hum of anxiety that modern life produces without apology. And we carry it all, every hour, every day, because that is simply what is expected of us. Rest has become a luxury. Silence has become uncomfortable. And the idea of admitting that you are struggling feels like a defeat no one wants to confess. For millions of people, alcohol has quietly become the answer to a question they were never taught how to solve. How do I stop feeling this way? How do I decompress when nothing else reaches deep enough? How do I get through tonight? And that question, that deeply human question, is what we're exploring today. To understand why stress drives people toward alcohol, you have to understand what stress actually does to the brain. When you encounter a stressful situation, a difficult boss, a confrontation, a financial crisis, your brain immediately activates a chemical response. Your adrenal glands flood your body with cortisol, the primary stress hormone. Cortisol sharpens your focus, increases your heart rate, and puts your body in a state of high alert. This system was designed for survival. In prehistoric times, cortisol saved lives. It would told your body, danger is here, act now. But modern stress doesn't work that way. The danger never truly ends. The cortisol keeps rising, and your brain becomes overwhelmed in a state of constant biological alarm with no real release. This is where alcohol enters the picture. When someone drinks alcohol, it directly affects the brain's GABA receptors, the system responsible for producing calm, relaxation, and emotional quiet. Alcohol amplifies GABA activity, essentially pressing the mute button on the stress signals your brain has been screaming all day. At the same time, it suppresses glutamate, the chemical that keeps your thoughts racing and your nervous system overactive. The result? Within minutes, the person feels calmer. The mental weight lifts, at least temporarily. The noise fades. Sure, and then the brain notices something critical, the thing that caused the relief. It remembers. This is where dopamine becomes the real villain of the story. Dopamine is your brain's reward chemical. Every time something makes you feel good, your brain releases dopamine and marks that behavior as valuable, something to repeat. Alcohol triggers a significant dopamine release, and because it works so quickly after stress, your brain begins to build an association. Stress arrives, alcohol follows, relief comes, dopamine rewards. Over time, this isn't just a habit, it becomes a deeply wired neural pathway. The brain literally begins to anticipate the drink before it even happens. And this anticipation itself becomes part of the craving. Psychologists call this the self-medication theory. People don't drink to get drunk. They drink to feel normal, to return to a baseline emotional state that stress has stolen from them. The alcohol isn't the problem they're looking for, it's the solution they found. If this is hitting close, I wrote a book called The Big Liquor Life, where I break these exact mental chains step by step in a real practical way. If you're serious about changing your habits, check it out. Link in the description. Think about the mother who works a 10-hour shift, comes home to 3 children, a pile of laundry, and an argument waiting at the door. She loves her family, she loves her life. But some nights after everyone is asleep, she pours herself a glass of wine and sits in the quiet kitchen. And for the first time all day, she breathes. Think about the young professional, 28 years old, living in a city that never sleeps. And the pressure to succeed is everywhere. He socializes, he drinks, he calls it networking. But inside, he's using every social occasion as permission to silence the anxiety that follows him like a shadow. Think about the man who lost his job 6 months ago. He doesn't consider himself an addict. He considers himself someone going through a hard time. The bottle on the counter is just something that makes the evening shorter. Just something that helps him sleep. Just something temporary. Some people drink to celebrate. Others drink because they survived another day. The difference between those two sentences is the entire psychology of stress drinking. What connects all of these people isn't weakness. It isn't addiction, at least not yet. It's something profoundly human. The need to feel relief. The need to stop suffering, or even briefly. The need to put down the emotional weight they've been carrying since the moment they woke up. Research shows that people who experience chronic workplace stress are significantly more likely to increase their alcohol consumption over time. Studies from the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism confirm that high-stress environments directly predict higher rates of drinking, not because stressed people are broken, but because their brains are doing exactly what they were designed to do: seek relief from pain through available means. Alcohol, unfortunately, is one of the most available means in the world. Here is where the story takes its darkest turn. Everything we've described, the relief, the calm, the temporary quiet, is real. Alcohol genuinely does reduce stress in the short term. This is not a myth. One, this is neuroscience, but the brain doesn't tell you the other side of the equation. When alcohol wears off, your cortisol levels don't simply return to where they were. They rebound, often higher than before. Your nervous system, which was artificially calmed, snaps back with increased sensitivity. The anxiety you drank to escape doesn't disappear. It waits, and it returns louder, harder, and more insistent than before. This is called the stress-rebound effect, and it creates a trap so subtle that most people never see it. They feel stressed, they drink, they feel relief, they sleep, they wake up more anxious than yesterday. So they need to drink again tonight, and the cycle continues. Not because they're choosing to suffer, but because their brain's chemistry has been quietly restructured around alcohol as a coping mechanism. Emotional suppression makes this worse. Many people who drink after stress aren't processing their emotions. They're postponing them. The grief, the anger, the exhaustion, the loneliness. None of it disappears. It gets stored. And as it accumulates, the amount of alcohol needed to quiet it also increases. This is how casual drinking becomes something more serious. Not through dramatic decisions, but through thousands of small moments where the glass was simply easier than the conversation, the therapy session, or the honest look in the mirror. Alcohol was never the real addiction. Relief was. And that is the most important distinction you can understand about this behavior. So where does this leave us? Understanding, not judgment. Because the person who pours a drink after a brutal day isn't someone to look down on. Where there's someone who found a shortcut through pain that their environment never taught them to navigate any other way. There's someone whose brain works exactly as designed, seeking comfort, seeking calm, seeking survival. The question isn't why do people drink after stress? The question is, what were they never given instead? Healthy emotional regulation, the ability to feel difficult feelings and move through them without being destroyed, is something that has to be learned. It requires safe spaces, honest conversations, and tools that most people were never handed growing up. When those tools are absent, the brain finds something else. Sometimes it's food, sometimes it's screens, sometimes it's overwork, and very often it's alcohol. Recognizing this pattern in yourself or someone you know doesn't have to lead to shame. It can lead to something far more powerful: awareness. The moment you understand why you reach for the glass, the moment you see the cortisol, the dopamine, the emotional escape happening in real time, something shifts. You move from automatic behavior to conscious choice. And conscious choice is where real change lives. The people who break this cycle aren't the ones with the most willpower. They're the ones who found something else that genuinely worked. Exercise that released their tension. Conversations that drained their stress. Creative outlets that gave their emotions somewhere honest to go. They found relief through channels that didn't come with a rebound. That path looks different for everyone, but it starts with one thing: understanding that you are not broken for needing relief. You are human. And being human means carrying pressure that was never supposed to be carried alone. It means needing connection, stillness, and space to simply feel without being judged for it. Society rarely gives us that space, so we find it wherever we can. Sometimes the glass isn't about the drink at all. Sometimes it's about a person who has been holding everything together all day, every day, and who just needs for a few quiet minutes to feel like they can finally put it down. The real question isn't whether you drink, it's whether you've found a way to truly rest, to genuinely recover, to give your nervous system the kind of deep, honest silence it actually needs. Not a chemical shortcut, but real restoration that carries you into the next day feeling whole, not hollowed. And whether the silence you're looking for is something alcohol can actually give you, or something only you can build for yourself. Sometimes people aren't addicted to alcohol. They're addicted to the feeling of finally escaping themselves. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, understanding is the first step, always.